What's up, everybody? My name is Arpit, and welcome to GCP Live, the channel where we uncover Google Cloud secrets. Last week, we had talked about AI platform notebooks and how you can set up your own AI platform notebooks. One thing that most developers miss on is setting up your AI platform notebooks environment in such a way that it is secure. And today, to talk about security of your environment, we have a Google Cloud professional data engineer, Anil Kumar, with us. He is a technical architect at Media Agility. So this is the AI platform notebook environment that we had set up last time. If you want to see how to set this up, click on the link here and check out the video. Now, this is a standard Jupyter environment. Anil, what is wrong with this default environment right now? What am I missing? What is it about this environment that is not enterprise ready yet?
Can you go into compute instance, a VM running behind your Jupyter notebook?
Absolutely.
Do you have any use case like you want to expose this over the external IP?
Yeah, this is actually for internal experimentation. So we have a team of data scientists in this scenario that will use this environment for their machine learning experiments. That's the scenario.
Oh, wonderful. So then probably you don't need the external IP. So you can see it has a default network and a default subnetwork, right?
Yeah.
And it has an external IP as well. To give a private IP to your notebook, you need to have a VPC correctly set up.
What is VPC and what do you mean by default VPC and a new VPC?
Yeah, definitely. That's a good question. So if you look at here, you have your enterprise here, right? And Google Cloud essentially it is hosting multiple customers' data into a same networking space. So a VPC is a virtual private cloud within Google's network. So Google has its own network, right? So in that particular network, if I say you need a VPC, which means I'm saying you need a physical isolated boundary. So within in the middle of this screen, you can see you have your storage, your netbooks, or any other cloud resource, but they all are within a confined perimeter so that nobody else outside your networking layer can access these resources. So which means like it is a isolated boundary within the public cloud. That's called VPC. So
Hmm.
by default, once you have create your GCP project, it has a network because without network, nothing can't be reached over the internet because every public cloud is hosted over the internet. So to access it, you need some network. That's why Google pre-installed a network that's called default network. So in Google, to set up a network, there are two ways. One is auto and one is custom. So in the auto mode, it's gonna create one subnet into each and every region. So all the regions wherever Google has their services, they are gonna create a subnet there. You can see it has networking defined in each and every region. And once this is default, other thing would be like tomorrow, Google is gonna have one more region, then there would be one more another subnet automatically created here. And that's a problem because once you have auto mode enabled network, your networks are gonna be created in a similar way. Observe the IP range here. It is saying 10.128.0.20. This is for US Central 1. If I create another network, so one is the custom, other is the automatic. If I select auto, look at here. This is exactly same IP address. Your past network was having the same IP network. This is also having the same subnet address, which means essentially all the people around the world who are using Google Project, they are gonna come with the default network. Their mostly IP ranges will be same. And even with the same project, if you create different VPC, you end up with the same IP ranges. If your IP range is correctly same, they are gonna conflict to each other and you will have problems with your VMs. And even if you go and create it, it's not gonna create it. It will give the error like this IP range is already exist because you are creating within your project. But think about it. You are an enterprise organization. You have a data science team, a ML team, a data and analytics team. Everybody will have their own projects. And within those projects, they are gonna go with the automatic VPC default network. Essentially they all are going to come with the same IP ranges. They are happily living there until or unless you don't need connectivity. But in a real world scenario, tomorrow, your data science team need data from a data team, and they are going to share their IP ranges from the data project. In that situation, you won't have any choice because you have the same IP range in your VM and their VM as well. That time, things will grown up enough, like you can't go back and fix your IP ranges, change the IP ranges. You will have hundreds or thousands of VMs. They are utilizing the existing IP ranges. So for an organization, it's gonna be very challenging once you are gonna all gonna come with the same IP ranges. This is one scenario. Other scenario would be the classic scenario. For every enterprise right now, everybody is having their own prem VMs as well. So once you go over the cloud, you would like to access your data or something from on-prem as well. Once you connect your cloud to the on-prem, there will be IP ranges on on-prem. And if you look at here, these IP ranges are, these are local IP ranges, RFC IP ranges. Those are reserved for local access only. Nobody over the internet can access them. So which means your all the resources in this project, they are gonna can have the same IP range that is already in the on your on-prem one. In networking, there is only one major challenge. All the network administrator people always fail is like they create their own runbook or Excel sheet to manage the IP ranges, subnet ranges, so that they are not conflicting with the other IP ranges. So to do the same thing, let's go and create a custom IP thing here, not the automatic one, because now we have shown like this is gonna be conflicting with the existing one on-prem or the ongoing projects as well.
Thank you for explaining that, Anil. So, like Anil mentioned, always go in for a custom VPC so that you are taking care of the security and the networking setup the way it should be done for production from the very beginning, and not running into these issues later on when you try to move your stuff to production or try to access projects across different departments and so on.
Yeah. So we need to delete it, but before delete any VPC, you need to create a new VPC. And then only we can come back and delete the default one. Right away, I can't delete it because once I go and delete it, it will say like, okay, you can't delete it because this has multiple VMs associated with it. So before deleting it, I need to create a custom VPC network. So for creating any custom VPC, you should always think about best practices name. So it should be the name of your network. So for example, Arpit has GCP Live as a project. So I can say like GCP Live VPC. This is my VPC name. There are two options to create a subnet, either custom or automatic. So we won't go with the automatic because if I go and create it, it's gonna say like this IP range is already allocated to the default network. So that's the problem. So Arpit, which region you would like to have your notebook hosted or you would like to access it?
Yeah, let's define it as US West 1.
All right. So my next recommendation is like you have your network there, subnet, and then you can suffix it with the region name. So that if tomorrow you are going to have multiple subnets, you can distinguish them by the region, IP ranges. So I'm keeping it 10.110. And the next thing, one more thing here, Arpit, which is very important, is like private Google access. So this is something tomorrow you want to access your BigQuery data from your notebook, or maybe you would like to access your GCS files using your notebook. In that situation, practically you don't need to go outside of internet, right? You can access it within Google network. So in that situation, if you enable this flag on private Google access, which is telling you like all the services, all the Google hosted services which are residing within Google's network, they will be available you as a intranet thing. So there are two advantages. One is the security thing, other is the egress and ingress charges. The next thing is flow logs. So this is not gonna, again affect any performance thing, but definitely this is gonna, cost you. But for any enterprise, it is again recommended like you should enable this on. Once you enable flow logs on, each and every network packet which is flowing through your project, either ingress or outgress, everything will be logged into stack driver login. And to save it for audit purpose, you can sync it into BigQuery or GCF for long time retention. Let's create it. All right, so you have your custom VPC here. So I'm going back into notebooks because our old one is utilizing public IP. So I'm going to create a new notebook here. While creating it, you can see in the networking section, we can have our subnetwork available here. And this is asking about external IP. So automatically it is coming. There is no option to change it here. So I need to go into customize. I'm going to customize it and then go to the networking section and select the new custom VPC. And you will be able to exclude external IP. So we want to protect it, make it a private Jupyter notebook. So I'm saying I don't need any external IP. Now I'm going to create it. All right. So in the IP section, you can see at the bottom network interfaces. It only have primary internal IP. There is no external IP, which means this is secured and nobody from internet can access it. So now I can go back and delete my VPC, default VPC network. That's not needed. Whenever you are going to delete any VPC, it has to be cleaned up. It should not be associated with any cloud resource.
Thank you, Anil, for explaining how can we secure our notebook environment, especially how can we make sure machine that the notebook instance is running on is only on private IP. It is not using a default network and only using a private VPC. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comments if you think this was useful. Please like the video.